and welcome back to In the Name of. This is episode 3 of our 4-episode series playing on the Girl by Moonlight system from the Girl by Moonlight book. Thank you so much to Evil Hat for making this series possible. Thank you for sponsoring it. If you want to check out Girl by Moonlight for yourself, it's funding right now on BackerKit, and you should absolutely check it out. Come and be a magical girl with us. Let's go around and let's meet our players today.
My name is Lexi. I am your idol alias, and I use she, he, they pronouns, and so does idol alias.
I'm Kailey Bray, playing Idol Vision, or Maura Troy, and we both use she, her pronouns.
I am Dani, Gage, playing Ashley Park, aka Idol Melody, and we both use she, her pronouns.
And I'm Xander Jeanneret, using he, him pronouns, but playing Pauldron Shepherd, who uses they, them pronouns and is your idol guard.
And I'm Saige Ryan, and I'm your game master for this, leading you all into a false sense of security.
Uh-oh. I didn't.
Episode 1 did. So sorry about that. Where we left off, you had just completed a middling success of your first heist. This is certainly outside of the realm of the work that you typically do as magical people. So all in all, you successfully were able to gather up some of the supplies that were needed by the rebellion. Things here in this world are nothing like the city you come from. Where you come from, magic is revered and loved. You are the great heroes and protectors of the city, and people that are common folk, people that are considered to be mundane, where you come from, celebrate what you are as special and unique. You get a chance to explore every kind of identity. You get a chance to be whoever it is that you want to be. And unfortunately here, in this city of Xantrine, people are not provided the same opportunity. You encountered a friend amongst the darkness named Lux, who himself has dreamed of exploring himself and his joy in the way that you do. And you've provided him even a moment of reprieve to do so, trying on his own magical costume with you. And he's just retrieved you back at the pizza place where you've come back with supplies. Now, we didn't really establish exactly what you grabbed from the grocery store. I would love to know, let's kind of go around and tell me, what do you think is in that like big backpack that Paulie is wearing?
Yeah, I think Paulie has sat down on like a stool that's nearby because they're still suffering from a sprained ankle a little bit, but has had some medical attention to it. And then we'll pull out, maybe the first thing is like a couple of cans because that's what we were looking for. And like the smaller things will be on the top. We have like canned tomatoes, some soups, things that are non-perishable, things like that.
All right.
Ashley only grabbed pasta.
That's right. Boxes and boxes
She was
of
really
pasta.
excited about it.
Maura has one singular, really like beaten up, but formerly like beautifully decorated with like sprinkles and frosting and like sugar work, like little like petit four like cake.
Let them eat cake, huh?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Really good intentions.
Such
good intentions.
Always. I wanted to. Al, I think, grabbed, if you got pasta, I think she's going for anything canned that she can see that would still be good. Like, knows the difference between perishables and non-perishables. Definitely grabbing honey, grabbing sugar, like anything that would not basically go old super fast.
Yeah. Al definitely has a little more familiarity with what is like affordable and can like sustainable food in that, things that can be kept for a while and prepared. So I think you're able to grab some things like some canned vegetables and stuff that would maybe just provide a little bit of nutrients, but also not have to be kept in like a refrigerator or something of the sort. So in doing so, Lux watches you start to kind of pull things out of the bag as you're getting attended to for your ankle. Okay, yeah, no, I think that they're all gonna be very grateful, right? Okay, I guess we should, do you want to go meet them? Just don't do anything weird, I guess.
I can't promise.
What does that mean?
It feels like everything that we do is pretty weird, so maybe we just follow your lead. Like, I think we're gonna, if that's okay with you, maybe you introduce us and we'll try and be quiet for a while.
I guess just
Like, we'll just give them our names, and that's kind of, then you just will follow. We'll do what you say.
Okay, yeah. There hasn't been anybody new coming in a while, so just be prepared.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just no magic right now.
Yeah.
And we'll follow you.
Okay. He heads down the stairs from the pizza shop, and he picks up his backpack on the way. And for the first time, he does see the note that you left, and he picks it up and reads it. This is what I mean.
This was before we met
Before.
you.
It was before.
Yeah, we didn't know.
No hearts on the eyes? Is that the problem?
We didn't know.
I think the have a magical day actually might be the bigger problem.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And you crossed out a lot of things and then wrote something else, but like I can still read what you wrote before.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, we need your help, crossed out, we can help you, crossed out, we should help each other.
Right.
But, I mean, it's
All
the
those
truth.
things are true.
And he like does kind of smirk about it a little bit from giving you a hard time and like tuck it into the backpack. Ripped a page out of my notebook.
Oh, sorry.
Continues tucking his stuff in there and puts his backpack on. He leads you through the city. He definitely has these kind of like pathways. He's explained previously that this in particular where you came into was like a battle zone, essentially. This part of the city was fought over and people fled from it. There are areas where people are like living, where places are set up. People are allowed to still exist here, but unfortunately, when it came to the time of the government oppression and the new government forming, places like the business district like this were unfortunately no longer sustainable. Things were taken from them and it wasn't reasonable. People refused to keep running their businesses and handing things over to the people in power. So they fled into residential places where they're no longer sustainable to fend for themselves. So he leads you through areas, any place that he can that has a basement that leads in and out to stay off of the streets until you do arrive at a back door. It's like a large hatch into the ground. And he pauses in front of it and he's like, okay.
Before we have gone, would I have had a moment to just like pull Lux aside for just like a second?
Absolutely. You've had the entire walk here. What would you like?
Just like to a quiet moment, a little bit just like away from everybody else, like hoping that they don't hear. I'm not like trying to be super shifty, but I will like pull Lux aside and say, Lux, just 1 second. And I will pull the little cake out of my like pocket, how it's like kind of beaten up. I think I made a mistake. But I want you to have this. I wanted to give you something as a way to say thank you. I don't know if you ever had anything like this before. I don't want to make any kind of assumption or anything like that, but it looks like you, like obviously and like rightly so, have a big focus on what's useful and practical because you have to, and that makes total sense. And it's not fair that you don't get to have something that is completely impractical and has no other use except to make you happy. And I wanted to just give you something and maybe some of your friends something that would just be for making you happy. But I dropped it, but I saved one.
And he reaches out his hands to take it from you and holds it there for a moment, overwhelmed by your anxious delivery. I am usually focused on what matters because things aren't fair. And I wonder how they got fair where you come from.
I don't know. I also don't know where I come from, if that helps. Technically. But the place I used to live, I never really questioned it, and that's wrong. Thank you for being so nice to me about that, because you didn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't choose to be magical, but you are. And you get all the benefits of that.
Yeah. I guess I just want to say I'm sorry and thank you. And I want to help and I want to be better. And I'm going to make more mistakes, probably like picking up cakes instead of like something that would be more helpful. But hopefully this also makes you happy, even though it's not helpful.
Thank you. It's a lot easier to help when you know the problems, and I know some of them, but the people in here know a lot better than I do. So, thank you. And he definitely is like holding on to it, almost like not sure how to enjoy it yet. And he does like kind of like tuck it into the backpack for now to wait for like a private moment. And you continue to make your way. There's a conversation that you definitely like could have pulled aside when y'all like stop down for a minute. You can't run consistently for hours, and it's a
Not on my
track.
ankle.
No, there's definitely plenty of times that they had to stop and make sure that they could care for it.
Would I be able to say something to the team as we walk?
100%.
I think I'm kind of walking behind Lux, and I'm just kind of making sure I'm talking to all of you. And I'm just gonna say, it's important that when we go here, we need to make sure that they know that we're not here to save them, if that makes sense.
But we can.
We can, but we also might not be able to. We need to let them know that we're not here to offer them anything. They don't need anything from us. And they're gonna find their revolution some way or another. For us to come here and be like, we're gonna change things for them but that's a lot of energy to bring to people who have had no hope for a really long time.
Yeah, so we can empower them and come alongside them, but we don't want to try to take over for them.
We're not in charge of the rebellion.
We're not in charge.
Yeah.
And we might be the tide turners, but I think we're used to taking credit. Like, we basically felled a monster in the streets and got a parade for it.
That is what happened.
Yeah, and that's not how it's gonna work here. And people have worked for a long time.
We didn't defeat it. We just created a problem for someone else, for these people.
And
now we know.
These people, I don't know, during those parades, have you ever looked on the side of the streets to see all of those people standing there, and they're all smiling and waving, and they have their kids up, and they're just so excited.
Mm-hmm.
If you look past them into the dark alleyways, into the streets, there's a lot of people that don't enjoy those parades. There's a lot of just anger from people just past those who praise us.
I never looked past the front row. Did you guys?
No.
That's where we're kind of walking into.
Hey, Al. Thanks for helping us look past the front row.
Yeah.
You all... I'm sad it had to happen like this, but I mean, if we can do it, we can teach everyone else to do it.
Maybe there are some other people who are here who just don't know that they have to look past the front row too. Not all of them, probably not the people like in charge, but maybe there's more people who can be on, the good guys than just us.
Yeah,
and if we ever make it back home, we can help other people see too.
Yeah.
I really like that idea.
So if I hear the plan right, Prez, we're going to keep a low profile and then try to help when we can, but we're not taking over.
Yes.
All right.
I think I'm very comfortable being told what to do for the next little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, you know what that means. Let's roll.
Let's roll!
We yell behind Lux. We're in a basement.
Lux walking ahead of you guys, letting you have the conversation, is like...
Sorry, no weird stuff.
Sorry.
This is exactly what you meant by weird stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also, it's really cool.
Okay, guys.
Let's roll. And he walks a little differently after, definitely like bolstered by it. He tells you kind of like the stories that he heard about magical girls from his mom. Is one of the few people in the city that still believed in and has heard kind of the tales of, and really always believed that there was the possibility for a hero. You know that like this is somebody who does believe in you and just wants others to so badly.
A question, as we're hearing the sort of stories from Lux, is there anything that we can determine is like a turning point or something that's distinctly different than from our history?
Or anything that we recognize. That like feels like stories that we got to hear, or our own history.
Yeah, there are bits and pieces that do overlap. For him, it's told in a way that's such a like folk tale that for you is like literal history. Like, yes, of course the magical girls did save that burning building. We know it was only like a few, generations back of like retired heroes. And for him, it's like, I don't know where this happened. I don't know when this happened, but I was told that this happened. These are like local legends of what magical girls were elsewhere. Here in this city, from the rise of magic, they only ever really experienced a splitting divide. And it wasn't just the oppression of magic. It was people in strong political and economic standing utilizing magic and magical people to take control. So there were also mundane people in positions of high power that used them for financial gain, that used them to create a larger class divide between the people with and the people without.
Clearly, we're easily manipulated sometimes. I'll speak for myself. That was probably rude. But I think that there's probably more people like me than people not like me.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
I think we're ready.
I think so.
Do you think we're ready?
Well, you're standing at the doors, and he looks over all of you and goes, yeah. Okay. And he reaches down onto the handles, and he very particularly knocks with his wrist on the side of the handle in a like rhythmic pattern, in a way that's clearly like a secret code to communicate. Before the door creaks open a little bit, it like pops up and he's able to pull it the rest of the way. Though someone must have popped it up, there's no one there on the stairs by the time he opens it. They've moved back down. You can hear almost like a skittering of footsteps down at the bottom of the stairs. Clearly a safety precaution to not be right there when a door opens, even if you've heard the password. He leads you down a dark cellar staircase. Into a sprawling basement. There's a few doors off of it, and the walls seem like they have been like kind of broken down and expanded to make this room much bigger. And he pushes through the first one of the doors, and you see a entire small city's worth of people in there. There's a few hundred people gathering. They're sharing a meal. They look to be in pretty high spirits. This is where they have rebuilt their own community underground. And everybody kind of stops because they go to look to Lux and see for strangers. And the room gets quiet as Lux kind of tries to bravely stand in front of all of you and go, everybody, I found some people that also needed help. And I wanted to, I trust them, and I will lead with the fact that I trust them. So, and in that moment, he realizes he has not received your mundane names. I would say you've absolutely had time if you wanted to take off your villain clothes.
Yeah. I was be like, oh my god, I totally forgot what we were wearing.
Well, yeah, back into like civilian,
mundane,
mundane clothes.
Mm-hmm. So all of you back in your civilian clothing, 100%. He looks back and goes, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
I'm Pauldron.
Hi, I'm Maura.
I'm Xander.
And we brought food. And I'll pull that huge sack out with all of the stuff in it.
Lux looks so proud standing next to you all, having been like somebody who brought things back. And a woman pushes up from a chair and through the crowd up to you. She has a commanding presence. She has a confidence in her walk, broad shoulders that sit back in a really defined posture. And she looks over each of you and brushes a lock of her gray hair back. Thank you. Did you come from the outskirts?
Way outskirts.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Is there somewhere to go there?
Well...
No, we actually we didn't have any place to go, so we just kept going and going and going until
We got lost.
Got here.
I think if you ask Lux can tell you everything.
And Lux is like,
Yeah. You know everything, and you know our story. You know where we came from.
Lux turns and goes, sorry, these people did fall from the sky, but they are not from here. They're not part of, and they're not sludge monsters either, so they might have the ability to help us. And a composed smile dips down to not a frown, but a seriousness in taking it in. And she looks over you. I presume you must be then
Here to help.
No.
I think
We're not gonna lie.
I think she.
Yeah.
Also, we're not good at it, so
No,
we shouldn't.
We want to join the rebellion.
We're here to do whatever you tell us.
Yes.
Reporting for duty.
To help.
If you want.
Honestly, I want to have you roll that for me. I want to roll that, please. I want to roll on that, please, in particular. Would you like it to be an expression? I think that's an express roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
You use words with an agenda in mind, and your agenda is please.
Could the setting up, like us all talking,
Yes.
be
the
working from the
Do you
shadows?
guys want a group one?
Your ability.
I have an ability to secretly set up another character's action to
get
add.
out.
Absolutely, 100%.
Heck yeah.
So not a group roll, but
Right.
you can absolutely take that additional D6 for the express roll.
Here
got
we
this.
go. Oh wait, it's a straight because I just have one.
Evens out.
No worries.
Unless anybody would like to take stress to assist. The thing has not been rolled yet. You can take one stress and offer.
What if I push myself?
Yeah, push
Because
yourself.
it's fun.
Push yourself.
There you go.
Now
That
you
was a
are
pretty
pushing
desperate
yourself for the
please.
entire group because you are that like final button on everyone's
Okay.
plea. So
Does your ability come into play? No, it's not a group thing because then you wouldn't be able to use that
Yeah.
ability.
Okay, cool. So we're pushing myself, taking 2 stress. Oh no.
Oh no!
Please? That's 3.
she turns to Lux disapprovingly and asks him to move out of the room with her for a moment. They step out of the door that you came in, out into that hallway to have a chat, and you are left with an entire room of people, hundreds of people who are forming like They are not refugees of this space. They are here in the intentions of reclaiming this district. They are hiding here and waiting for the correct time to take action to reclaim this part of their home and their city. They still sit around tables, pop out folding chairs, and they all stare at you. What would you like to do?
Who's hungry?
Oh no.
Oh no.
There's hundreds of them, you said?
There are hundreds of people. There isn't no food here, to be clear. These people have fended for themselves. They have not just been waiting for something, but to bolster their inventory allows them to buy more time to sustain here, but without having to go back home.
Yeah, does anyone know who we give this stuff to? Who's in charge of it so that
a large masculine presenting person pushes up from the table with ginger hair and a full ginger beard and walks towards you and goes, well, I mean, food is food. And he does come up and he takes the pack from you and kind of pours it out onto a table and does start distributing things out a little bit, moving some things into storage, and then turns back and does offer you a handshake for presenting the backpack.
One of those.
And he's so there for it on that. Absolutely. And it reminds you of that good solid handshake Diana gave you
my teacher.
in the parade.
Yep.
And he's like, look, I don't know what Miss Lestray is going to want from all of you, or if she is going to send you back out into those streets, which best of luck to you should she. But I say the more the better, and that's why I don't make the decisions.
Wow, you're really nice. What's your name?
Charles.
Hi, Charles.
And he will reach out for a handshake and realize he's not going to get the same kind of handshake from you whatsoever, and gives you does his best to be gentle. He stands at 6'3" and his shoulders just as broad almost as his height. He is a square of a man standing in front of you, but does his best to be delicate with your hand in the handshake. And he kind of looks you all over and is like, so, what do you do?
Well,
You do magic, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Fight crime.
Yeah. Fight crime, help people mostly, but we're visitors, so we're kind of making sure we're not really showing off our magic right now because
I time travel, I think.
I like to empower people.
Wild. That's weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In a good way or a bad way?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Well, what have you seen other magical people do? What do they do around here?
Oh, I mean, loot and steal mostly, but
Scary stuff.
yeah. It feels like anything that can be done by one of us could be done magically. There are people who manipulate plants. There are people who control things like the weather. It makes it incredibly hard when we're trying to section off areas to reclaim when a storm can put us out and destroy our work.
Yeah.
It's, I think the thing of it all is they never needed the magic. The magic made it a lot easier for all of them, but it's not the magic. At the end of the day, it's choices and it's political structure. It's the decaying of a city that abandoned community for profit. Why have people traditionally laboring? Why have people maintaining small businesses when everything could just be accomplished with magic?
So, Charles.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time that, you said that they didn't need the magic. Have you ever seen anything turn the magic off? Freak storms, or even if there was a peaceful hour where you didn't see any magical people anywhere on a specific day, or like the sky turning a specific color.
Especially the sky.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to pretend to understand how any of this works. I certainly don't, zap anybody with my fingers or fly, but there is a common theory that the source of magic is the sky. There's, all of the folktales of the first magical people ascending from the skies, but unfortunately, our city was battling corruption already when it happened. Everybody wants to decide that it is one thing or the other, but it was insidious, and insidious people were only bolstered by access to magic.
Yeah, like, we could stop the magic, but that doesn't mean people still wouldn't find ways to do bad things. It's like we have to make them have a change of heart or see how they're hurting people. It's like you said earlier, we didn't see past the front row. Maybe they all just need to see past the front row.
And he tries to take a gentle approach to you, understanding, like looking at you and the amount that you give off of who you are. And he kind of lowers down a little bit, not in a condescending way, but to try and like have a heart-to-heart with you, into a chair. Some people are just led astray. Some people are corrupted by outside influence. But here, some people are just that. They are corruption. People aren't all hurting people on accident. Lots of people made lots of choices that created this. Greed is insidious. And we can't pretend that each of them has a redemption in their future. Some of these people will never get better. And there are many people that we have lost that will never have a chance to because of them.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Can I give you a hug?
And yeah. And he does like stand back up, and he does give you a little bit of a like bear hug, not lifting you off the ground, trying to like come down around you.
Oh.
And he goes, I wish that our young people had the opportunity to believe things are as good as you do.
I wish that people could change.
You know, some people can, but it is unfortunately naive to believe everyone can. Some have to be removed for everyone to be safe. There is no such thing as a place that is safe for everyone, not if there are people within it willing to harm.
And that's why we have rebellion?
Yeah. We have rebellion because sometimes you have to make a choice.
It's beautiful.
You have to build up walls to protect people around you, and that means some people cannot come in. Some people will have to be removed and dealt with in ways that are terrifying and violent. A space that is safe for everyone is safe for none of my people.
But doesn't that seem a bit cyclical? You're just gonna make the same thing on the other side.
Well, what's your name?
Oh, Pauldron, but you can call me Paulie.
Pauldron.
Okay.
Tell me then.
It's really serious.
Tell me. What do you do with somebody who actively caused harm, oppressed people, created destruction, after the harm and destruction is cleaned up? You're magical people. You say you're heroes, so what do you do with the people that cause harm to make sure they don't do so again?
Well,
I'm not comfortable answering that question because of what the actual consequences of that were that we didn't know. But,
Well, before we just let everybody clean up after us. But I think now we realized
no, we sent them here.
we sent them
Charles, we created a circle.
you.
Yeah, no.
Something would cause destruction. We would defeat it, we would throw it into our pit, and it would come here and cause destruction.
We just found that out. We're really sorry. We didn't know. We're going to try and help if we can. I'm sorry. I feel like Lex probably told us not to say that to other people, but it feels weird not to take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So then, here's what I'll tell you. From what I've learned from doing our best to protect our people. Restorative justice, where it can be found, is an invaluable asset. But justice at all costs is also on the table. Sometimes, violence not being the answer is a position of privilege that we no longer have here. So, we do whatever it takes to protect our people.
All right, whatever it takes. I'm ready.
What she means to say is, we're on your side.
Thank you. At this point, the door opens back up, and Lux comes back in with his head down, looking like he just got an absolute scolding of a lifetime. Like, he's fine, but he is, like, stressed and, like, ashamed. Clearly, like, a parental figure. He got called into the principal's office.
Yeah, we all recognize that, that vibe. We've all been there at least once.
Yeah.
And Miss Lestrade stands back out in front of all of you and sees kind of comes in as Charles has just kind of like patted you on the back and been like, all right, and sees you all kind of like starting to settle in here as people do start kind of like making plates of food and offering you seats. Ooh.
Food. Food is the key, okay? Food is the key. We should take a seat. If we're visitors, if they invite us back, good. But for now, we take whatever they give us. Okay.
Oh,
yeah. If they give us the seat, we'll take it.
Got it.
I feel bad about taking food from them.
We brought some, though.
But it was for them.
I promise, we're not taking anything. They're offering it. And we're on their side.
And I'm hungry.
Oh.
You're always hungry, Paulie.
Yeah.
It has been a while since we had those slushies, huh?
Right? I think I had a sugar crash.
Yeah. We've only had slushies and popcorn for like kind of a long time. I don't know how much time has passed. Okay, yeah, you're kind of right.
It's fine. We're freshmen in college.
Our stomachs feel nothing.
Yeah.
Miss Lestrade just observes you all starting to partake in the community itself. And Lux kind of like skitters off into the crowd a little bit, and she moves forward and says, well, though all of you have many reasons to be questioned, and didn't open terribly strongly.
Sorry.
Fortunately, Lux has greatly advocated for all of you, and I know that my people need the kind of hope that you've given Lux. I've never seen him like this, so thank you for what you've done for him, and may your sometimes misled hopefulness bolster our forces.
Lex is really smart.
He is. He is a incredibly capable young man that I hope gets an opportunity to fulfill everything he is capable of. In a world like this, those chances are few and far between. And she goes, well, come on. And she does start bringing out plates. Sharing a meal is important as you do see kind of like the liveliness of people. You've watched an empty city with one kid running through it and a rat so far, which you still have.
I'm still right.
Yay!
Oh, yay.
So cute.
Did you ever name him?
I don't think so.
It'll come to you.
It'll come.
Yeah, it'll happen.
It'll happen. And you do get to see a little liveliness. There are people playing cards in the corner. There are people still doing things like, helping braid each other's hair and
There's
care
one
for each
corner
other.
that are playing a role-playing game.
Weird.
Nerds.
Don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a little set of dice in front of them. There's somebody shuffling with papers and being like, I don't think you can do that. Hold on.
What my character would do.
And in the center of the room, there is a large table with a map, comparable to the one that Lux had. And in fact, the little illustrations on it look so similar that it's clear that Lux probably drew the map that they're all using of the city. It shows all of the tunnels and access points, the ways that you travel to get here from the pizza place. It shows points of interest, very, very comparable to what you saw up on his like red string board in his little home base. There are a few things on it. There is a district in which people live that shows a few on the outskirts of where like local mundane communities live. There are the few kind of almost fortresses of where people in power live, and there are sketches and ideas of like where farms could be, where land could be. There's notes attached to it about how the soil is, what the weather is like in that area, what the cover is like shade-wise for them to potentially build and live.
So what's the plan so far?
Who are you asking?
Oh, whoever,
There's
Lestray.
Charles,
Lestray,
there's Miss Lestray. Okay.
who's, I assume Lestray is the one that put out the map. and
Yeah,
everything.
she definitely stands over it and watches to make sure everybody has their food and everything.
Oh, that definitely was. What's the plan so far?
Oh, yeah.
She looks over to you from her position at the head of the table, at the map table. Well, things like small tasks have been helpful in us sustaining, but we are leading to something much larger. The thing is, right now what we need is intel. We need information, and Lux has been doing his best to gather as much as he can, but he can't do it alone. We need to know what their plan is. They've taken this city from us, but what's next? There's no one here to sustain it. I don't know what their dream for this is. I don't know what they think their rebuilding of our communities would look like. We need to know when they patrol. We need to start thinning the numbers of those patrols.
When you say thinning, do you mean killing people?
Well, that depends. We aren't exactly somebody with access to the time or opportunity to do much else. If you offer an alternative, may it be an effective one. But that's up to you. We will do what we will do, and you will do what you will do. But should you do something less effective that involves wasting time on a mission and these people simply coming back angrier, those consequences are very real for us.
What would you say the most valuable part of this city is?
Now, when you say value, you mean value to us personally, or what we think would be of value to the government?
To the government. If they're, whatever might be the next step of their plan, if your value, your prime value is farming and making sustainable produce for yourself and these people, and it's ambiguous what the next step of their plan is, I think we have to go high level and think about what is valuable about the city that they've decided to stay here.
There's not much city left.
Yeah.
No, there isn't, but she gestures back over to the map. These are the places here where magical energy is the most potent. The areas where things most commonly come from the skies. I don't know
I don't know what their use of that is. Things do just appear, but things can also seemingly be pulled from it.
These are the same areas. It looks like the Academy, Zippy's, and the pit from our world.
Have the number of magical people been the same? Do you keep track?
Yeah, more people appeared since your big war.
Or even disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
We do our
Keep
best.
track.
Yeah.
We do our best to keep track of what their numbers are. There's definitely more of them than when they started. I don't know where people have come from, but there have been definitely people that were not from here. Previously, things that came out of our skies were not people like us, or people like you most specifically. But recently, their numbers do appear to be bolstered. I don't know how they're doing it, but somehow they're creating more. So, if you want to assist in our efforts, we don't have an understanding of how any of this works, and maybe you will have a better opportunity to.
If that's the case, then I suggest our best place to start might be where the pit would be for our world. That might be the source somehow of magic here, and we could get some answers.
Maybe we can even pretend to have just arrived. Maybe one of them can find us.
Yeah.
And take us. We can just be new magical people who've fallen from the sky. I don't know what would have happened to us if one of them had found us instead of Lux. But maybe it's time to find out.
It does seem that would be the best information we could get. If there are more people coming through the portal, or even if their plan is to go through themselves.
And
Because
come
if-
into our world.
They've depleted their resources, and everyone who could actually make this place livable has run and rebelled. So of course they're just gonna run to the next place. They're gonna try.
A new place to conquer.
Use it up and on to the next one until there's nothing left.
This might sound callous, but I go and I plug my little rat's ears. Oh! They're kind of like pests. Except these kind of pests actually can give back to the environment. These magical people aren't doing anything.
More like parasites.
So maybe we travel to where the pit would be, and then we transform.
And we follow the sky.
That might be the signal that they will come looking for us. And as long as we know that people on the rebellion side won't attack us because they know we're doing it, it should work.
Espionage.
We make a big noise and we hope that we get the right kind of attention and
I think that's good. I think we definitely see how people, because if people don't fall, or how we fell in and felt.
We just woke
we
up.
just woke up. We don't know what
We just
happened,
fell.
but we can still say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they trust us?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll seem easy we can just be told what to do, or
Have you ever done this kind of mission before?
no.
Okay. Right. I love your enthusiasm. I do. Again, as Lux has guaranteed, you are a potential light in a dark time, but this will require you to do things like lie and deceive and...
I can lie.
We can totally lie. We're not very good at it, but we can do it.
I don't know if we need to, because all of the bad stuff, we've done a lot of bad stuff, we just didn't know.
True. So we just act like it wasn't bad.
you know where a large base of the rebellion is.
Oh, yeah.
You're part of this now, and you need to be strong in not giving them that information.
We would never.
We've maintained secret identities for quite some time. I think we can keep a secret.
Yeah, especially Zariah?
Zariah, yeah.
It suits you.
It's really great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, maybe you should be in charge of most of the role. Good.
I do think lying is not our strong suit, but I think that I'm gonna take a page out of Charles's book, whatever it takes.
And I also think that why would they think we would have anything to do with the rebellion?
Yeah,
We're
magic.
magical people.
And if we fail, we have even less to do with the rebellion.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you have to not be very excited about rebellion. Can you do that if we do this?
So if we use the word rebellion...
Domination.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That was,
we
that was
got
pretty
it.
good.
I'm just going to, we have some people that are trained and skilled in this, and I'd like to offer you an opportunity to sit down with them and get a little bit of
I
training.
love mentors.
Training.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So we will have a training montage.
Yes!
Because we have a whole nother playbook that we're using. Obviously, we started in the Abyss, but you've not had access to any of the abilities yet in the Beneath the Rotting Sky playbook. So because we transitioned to Worlds, I would like to give you the opportunity to train into an ability from here. Now, there are a few, and I'm going to let you take a look at them. But one in particular might help you with a little bit of deception. So we'll pass this around. So looking over the series playset abilities, we have come to a conclusion. Troubled Hearts. So with Troubled Hearts, each protagonist may add plus 1d6 action rating to confess, defy, or conceal. Now each of you will choose one of those to take, which should help in the mission ahead, hopefully. What is everyone taking?
Yeah, I think that Paulie has been training with someone to fit into spaces and blend in with the shadows, like contorting their larger body into a way that will help them conceal in the future.
Ooh.
Ashley's inner rage has been activated, and she is focusing on really just physical power and putting her emotions into it, and we're taking Defy.
Wow.
All right.
So that's your second dot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that Maura is sitting down with someone and talking through interrogations and like on both sides of like how can I ask questions since I'm going to do it anyway. There's no stopping me from asking questions. How can I ask questions that aren't going to give me away immediately, and how can I answer questions? So I am also taking conceal, but in a totally different way.
And Zariah's been lying for a long time, and that's what she's good at, and it's just gonna keep doing that.
Sure.
Yeah, fair.
Getting more information and coming up with lies in my own head of like how to make sure people's perceptions also like don't tick off. So I'm also gonna take my second dot in conceal.
All right, so we've got some strength in defiance and in concealing. That's going to help ahead. That's why a series playset has its own series abilities, because those abilities are particularly relevant to the kinds of missions you're going to be going on. Now, we're going to use this time before we head out. You've obviously been kind of like assigned a mission already, but you do have time at this base. And because these sessions are only 2 hours, we're allowed time in our home game sessions. They're a lot longer. We're going to kind of montage through our obligation and our downtime. So with that in mind, we have to start with obligation. Now, obligations can be a pretty stressful experience. Here, it might involve finding ways to help the rebellion, but it also might involve ways of being confronted by it. You're having conversations with people that are living these as their everyday lives. You are vacationing currently in their everyday experience. So through the experiences of talking with people, trying to find out how to actually help them. You have repeatedly expressed you want to help, you think you can help, you are heroes. How do you be heroes to these people in particular? This is going to be resolved for you a little bit through your obligation. So for this, everybody has to roll what their lowest attribute is, and that will decide kind of what you experienced as your obligation. Who would like to start?
I can start.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So it's just a flat D6 roll, right?
So
Or
this is either your sun, your moon, or your stars. Which one is your lowest?
sun. I have nothing in sun.
So then, with that in mind, you are rolling it at disadvantage in the same way you do any roll.
Sure.
So you're rolling 2d6s and you're taking the lower number.
You said that was what, scary people?
Scary people, or circumstances, or is physically taxing.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. 1.
Oh.
Crit fail. How much stress does that, right?
So in
oh God,
obligation, you roll your lowest attribute, taking stress equal to 6 minus the die result. So you have just taken 5 stress.
I didn't have 5 to take.
No.
Yeah, how many did you have to take?
Oh.
Just 2. I'm a clip.
Because even if you were trying to resist that,
There's no way.
there's kind of no way. Now, eclipse isn't something that we've come across yet in this game. Each person, when they eclipse, which means they have maxed out on the ability of stress that they can handle as themselves, each person handles that differently. Can you read to me what your experience is, and then we'll talk about kind of how that actually takes place for you in a moment.
When I eclipse, it says, you've known all along that changing fate was impossible, yet here you are. So much wasted effort, wasted time. If this fate was inevitable, why not embrace it? You set aside caution for instinct and pursue a direct course of action, heedless of consequence.
So, you are now in eclipse. In fulfilling your obligation, something you said earlier struck a chord with somebody. Earlier, Charles asked, well, what do you all do, right? Asked lots of questions, and you are the only person that actually answered. You all gave vague answers of, we're heroes, we protect people, and you specifically said, I'm a time traveler. Somebody approaches you, a person who looks to be in their maybe mid to early 20s, and they're inquiring, you time travel?
Yeah, sort of.
Well, then why can't you just change it?
You're not supposed to?
What do you
When
mean
you
you're
time
not
travel?
supposed to?
Like,
None
you're
of
not
this is
supposed to
stuff
change stuff, right?
Don't ask me.
Oh, yeah.
So you have the ability to just change things and you just choose not to?
What if I make it worse?
Or what if you do nothing and it's bad? What if everyone else didn't have a choice? What if I can't time travel and I don't have the option to fix things, but you did? You didn't even try?
I just got here. I could try now.
You want to try?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, try.
no.
What do you want to do? What is trying?
Oh my God. The only way I've ever had real access to my abilities is through the book. So it's been very passive.
Okay.
And I don't know what... The only time I ever actually time traveled was when I was too young to remember. And I appeared by the pit and my parents found me and that was kind of it. And so the actual manipulation of time has been mostly me looking at the book and seeing what it says and looking for clues and operating off of them. I have never actually tried to take a more active approach than just following the book. And so what I'm going to do is I would like to flip through the book, see what it says, and then try and write in it myself and see if I can either change it or add to it or something and
Writing
be
your own
more
future.
active.
Okay. So, with that in mind,
Yes, I am breaking a promise.
Prick your finger and write it in blood. And
also breaking a promise with this. Very interesting. So then, I'm going to say this is probably a defy roll.
Sure, that's something I know how to do. In my 0.
Unless you would like to argue for something else. Defy is you muster courage and face opposition head on.
Yeah, so because normally my abilities are based in analyze. They are, I read what it says.
Yeah.
And I'm still channeling that as far as analyze goes. Like I am like looking for something very specific and trying to break it apart. But I am forcing my own will on it. So
Okay. So then analyze it. That's fine.
yeah, that's fine. I don't have any stress to take, so I don't think I can push myself. Although
You cannot.
I could.
You want a poison promise to get an additional d6 for this? Now, either way, you are going into Eclipse.
Oh
but
yeah.
This determines what happens around that. Now, your previous poison promise was fulfilled in the grocery store. In the supermarket, when the cameras, when the alarms activated, when you were found out, the rush that you had to take that caused even Pauldron to get hurt, having to rush out the door, was because you took a poison promise, which was sacrificing potentially the entire mission, putting it at risk to retrieve something frivolous. That was the fulfillment of your previous poison promise, which is complete. Would you like another?
I have to push myself for this. There's no way that I would give anything less than everything that I have left.
Take an additional d6.
Yay.
We'll figure that out.
What could possibly go wrong? 6.
Okay.
Oh no.
You wanted this to happen. You
Now.
Bye everybody.
What is the promise that you're breaking in doing this, that you've made to yourself or others?
I promise not to interfere.
You flip through the pages of your book. And in the way that they do, it usually starts with you manually flipping, and usually the book kind of takes over. Your magic flows through the book, flipping it throughout, pages changing and reordering themselves until it shows you what it is that you need to see at this time. It does open to a completely blank page, but it stops incredibly intentionally on it. The pen in your hand prepared to write your own fate in it, to try and control what happens next. What do you write down?
Staring at the blank page.
The specific request I was given was to change it. So the person who has approached me wants what happened here to not have happened at all. Charlie also said that it didn't matter, the magic just made it easier. Maura looks at the blank page and she writes down that when magical people arrived in Xantry, they lost their powers.
As normal, when you affect time, you lose your eyesight of the room for a moment.
Oh, I have to transform for this too.
Solo transformation. Do the roll call.
Yeah, like I take a second, I was like, oh wait, right, sorry, I'm gonna go into a corner and just say, let's roll. Vision. And allow that, just in the corner. Let's roll.
In contrast to the bleakness of the place around you, although the people are vibrant, the building is decrepit. You are in a damp basement. You are in literally an expanded cellar. Your transformation sequence still looks like your transformation sequence. It still fills a empty room with light that only you can see. We see it paint all the way across your body as the pages slowly fulfill your actual form. You are revealed to be this sparkling and shining magical girl in this place. You look like yourself, your outfit transforms, your sailor piece kind of forms around your neck, taking the brightest color in the room.
And for a second, there's a lot of relief, and it feels so nice, and then I remember where I am. Oh, right, sorry, I'll make this quick, I think, hang on. And then I open but to that page, and I write in it, when magical people
When magical people arrived in Xantrine, they lost their powers, is what you said. You lose all eyesight in the room. This happens a lot when trying to contact magic. You know that you have to essentially travel elsewhere to do this. You see a flash of images incredibly quickly. you see, and you see this frequently when you're dealing with trying to access into your magic, you see yourself sitting found at the pit. You see the people you know as your family meeting you for the first time, taking you in. You see yourself walking into the house. You see the first time that you accessed any of your magic. You see the starting of school, when in elementary school they started working with you and your magic to try and control it. You see all of the little times that you accidentally used something, things disappearing, things moving on accident that you didn't see move, being displaced out of time. Some things that were definitely true to you accidentally not being true, shifting between realities where small differences existed. Oh, my hairbrush used to be a different color. Small details, unsure of what else it affected in your timeline your whole life. Certain memories that you had with people being affected, or them remembering them differently, uncertain of if your memory was fuzzy or if you lived them differently always. And you see a figure approaching. You're alone in a room. It looks kind of like an interrogation room. You're sitting at a table, a metal desk in front of you. Somebody with their head down approaches from the darkness directly in front of you. You notice their hair hanging down the same color as yours. They tilt their face up and just a little bit of light comes over, and though it is impossible, it is unmistakably you. You look older. They're holding your book, standing in front of you. You don't have it. They have it. As you sit at the table, and they place the book down, slamming it in front of you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna fix it.
Why are you here?
I don't know.
You're not supposed to be here. Why are you doing this?
Doing what?
You promised me you wouldn't do this.
What? I'm just trying to help. I'm helping. They asked me to help. I'm helping. How could I promise you anything?
She frantically flips through her own book. She opens it to the page that you wrote, and she holds it out in front of you. Everything's going to be different now.
That's what they wanted.
And you feel the room starting to melt away, and you try and hold on to it. Like your magic is like not strong enough to hold this room together, to stay in it. And she's trying to tell you things, and they're starting to get jumbled, and it starts to sound like she's speaking in a language you don't recognize. And you're trying so hard to hold your magic strong enough to get that clear line of communication, but the line is breaking up. And you're losing her on the other side of it. And you can see now her mouth opening and no sound coming out. And she is pleading with you. And she's staring at the book, and she's shaking the book. And she is furiously scribbling into the book something for you. And then you're back.
Tell me.
In the room. And your costume melts away.
Oh no, we're still here.
Is your book open?
Uh-huh.
The pages are blank.
Uh-oh.
What did you make true? What did you write in your book? It's a school notebook.
Yeah.
It's standard issue. On a page or two, there might be some like calculus homework from last year.
Is the person who, like, are they in front of me still?
Yeah.
I'm not sure it worked. I think I made another mistake.
The person sits in front of you and goes, "What? What are you talking about?" You just kind of disappeared looking at your book for a minute.
Is everything still really bad here and magical people came and...
What?
Okay. Hi, my name is Maura.
Yeah, Maura, we know. What are you doing?
Everything else looks exactly the same. Or has
Everything
anything else
looks
changed?
entirely the same. Everyone in the room is still there. The map still rolled out in the center. You are still in what is like an underground rebellion camp. But you do not feel any magic.
Why are things like this?
Why are things like, why is the ceiling leaking?
Are we still are you a rebellion?
You're freaking me out.
I'm a little freaked out. Can you just pretend that I just got here and tell me what's happening, please?
Yeah, we are the rebellion. We are fighting the oppressive government.
Uh-huh.
And now I feel like telling you this, you're probably some kind of spy and somebody here is going to have to kill you for it.
Okay, please don't kill me. But is the oppressive government a kind of government with magic powers?
I mean, if you consider access to money and influence magic.
Is Charlie still here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Charlie is fully sitting on the other side of it. He's got like a couple of friends around. He's playing a card game now. Cheerful as ever.
Okay.
All of you are in the same room. You all still feel fully access to your magic. Maura has disappeared.
What?
Oh. What? Is it?
I'm exhausted. Hey guys.
Huh?
I think it's time to get back together. We've been training for a really long time. Anyone know where Maura is?
I haven't seen her.
Yeah, I mean, she's the equipment manager, so maybe she's looking for equipment. Like,
Oh yeah, I should probably give these boxing gloves.
where did you get those from?
I don't know. They just were there. Okay. Let's see. All right, Maura.
Maura doesn't answer you. Maura, where she was standing in the corner where the person stood kind of like confronting, stands alone in shock and confusion as nothing stands where the person they were once talking to was. All of you have been getting training. We do still have to fulfill all of your obligations.
Yeah.
It's been real, everybody.
Oh my god!
Amazing.
Season
Maura
exit.
is not
Jeez.
here. So let's continue these obligations and then we will return to Maura.
Shouldn't have gone first.
You're welcome.
What is your
everybody.
lowest attribute?
Big swings?
My lowest attribute is moon.
Moon.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's take a roll in moon for you. That would be nothing at all.
Nothing at all, so I'm at disadvantage for
Okay.
this.
We saw what poison promises do. Does anyone else want one?
Oh my gosh.
I got a 3.
Oh no!
This is bad.
And you still have a poison promise hanging.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
So I take 3 stress.
You do.
2.
You take 6
Oh, 6
minus
Six minus
the
3.
die result.
I had 2 stress left.
You are also
Eclipse gang!
Oh no!
okay. Man, the obligation phase, I'm gonna be honest, is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It's fine. You're all about to go on a mission, and you can do
Everything's
so in
fine.
Eclipse. Eclipse doesn't prevent it. It's not like getting downed or
Right.
anything like that in other role-playing games.
Just
It
stressed
simply affects the way that you're going to handle these. Now, what
Unless
is
you
your
butterfly
Eclipse?
affect yourself, and then you're just out.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's okay. You'll still Eclipse.
You're not even eclipsed yet? Oh my god.
This isn't even her final form. No.
It's gone.
What is the effect of your Eclipse?
When you eclipse, who you really are, clearly isn't enough. Only the mask is worthy of their love. You reject all aspects of your everyday self and embrace the most superficial aspects of your persona. Give them what you know they want. Effortless beauty and extravagant drama. Oh, that's not what they want. Oh no. Nobody wants that.
And that was Moon.
That's for Moon. Yeah.
Okay. So the consequences of your Moon obligation and failing it is the obligation that breaks your heart. It drives you to despair. And that's not hard to do here. You are
different from your friends, and you know that. You've been living two separate lives. Everyone has a secret identity, a magical secret identity that they get to be a celebrity in and a normal person in. But normal for them is different than your normal. Their lives have been different. And you are confronted with a lot of things. You're surrounded by people who believe what your family believes, the thing that has made you feel like you've had to conceal yourself your entire life. You have people rejecting the identity that you spend most of your time in, that you have worked so hard to uphold in your public life. The person that you've always hoped that one day you would get to be full-time. And there are people here, you're now faced with everyone beyond the front row. You've been able to tune them out for a long time, and you can't tune them out anymore. You know how they feel about you. You know how they feel about your power. And you don't want to be like them. Look at them all suffering. Maybe you do have the power to change things.
I think all of these thoughts and the idea that I can do something, I feel like it's happening in the midst of me trying to connect with like Lestray and Lux, and seeing people that, like Lux having my eyes, like having my twin brother's eyes, and just trying to feel like I'm one of them, and just they're talking and doing like a resource management kind of situation, and it is just fading to a high droning pitch in my ears, where I am realizing I am less like them, but I'm also less like them, and it is overwhelming. And I think I just start repeating, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be like them.
Do you transform?
I don't want to be like them, and I keep seeing these people around me, and a glowing light starts to shed as I continuously, I'm not going to be like them, and I don't know who I'm talking to, but something breaks, and I look up, and I have fully transformed, and it was me who chose to do it, but I'm still, I think I see the eyes of everyone around me and how this light blinds them. And I look around, and as people's eyes are adjusting, I'm fully past Soraya, and I am fully Idol Alias again.
Usually, the transformation sequence is a big moment. You don't experience a transformation sequence. You don't feel the clothing paint itself onto you and appear. That feels like walking in your own skin. Yeah. That is just you. What's your lowest attribute?
Stars.
Roll it for me.
Okay. So I do have one dot in it.
Okay.
Does that mean I roll 1d6?
Yeah, that's
okay.
flat.
Oh no.
Stop.
No. Oh.
No. No.
And that was the only thing that I could have rolled to get me into Eclipse.
Hey, Dani. Good luck.
Please.
I'm sorry. Good luck.
Oh no.
So what I wanted to do with my obligation, because Paulie sees themselves as like the chef of the roller rink, they're just going to try to help to prep some of the food that was brought, to prepare, not necessarily cook, but just chop things that need to be chopped, open things that need to be opened, that sort of thing.
So for stars, this is an anxiety or a social pressure. You are a protector. Yeah. And even when you serve food, that is a form of taking care and protecting people. It is a way that you care for people around you when you are not fighting off the things that harm them.
Yeah.
You're fighting back hunger for an entire squadron of people here. And
it is the first time you've also had a moment alone here. You know, looking out at their faces, the way that they wait on you for you to bring around plates of food is the same way that they are waiting on you. You're not supposed to be the heroes. You're not supposed to come in and fix things, but you are the first hope that they have had in a very long time. They know that you have access to something that they don't and can't have. Every one of them in the room feels like they're staring at you as you make plates and you try to do something that feels normal and feels grounded. It's not magical, it is just you, it's Pauldron.
Yeah.
But every person in this room is staring at you and looking up to you. What is the effect of your eclipse?
Your shining example is not enough. This world is rotten to its core, corrupted by those too weak-willed to follow even the simplest rules. The slightest breach of your code must be met with uncompromising justice.
Oh my god.
Punish them until they repent.
No.
You keep hearing back the conversation. You keep hearing Charles talking about, okay, well then you tell me, right? He presented the options to you. Do we keep these people around us? What does justice look like to you? What is justice in an unjust world? And you keep hearing the question over and over again. And he didn't give you an answer. He didn't tell you even what he thinks should be done. He asked you. And these are bigger questions than you've ever had to answer. And those just keep repeating in your head.
I don't know the answers, but I know I can do something now. Let's roll. Idle guard. And they'll transform as well.
Oh boy.
One more. Sun, moon, or stars?
Stars.
Stars. Okay. Are you rolling at disadvantage?
I am.
I believe in you.
Yes.
I believe in you.
That's a 1.
No!
Hey guys, what are we doing here?
I don't know. Eclipse
Eclipsing.
I don't know why I
Let's
can't
go.
relate stars.
Yes, stars.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
We're falling apart.
We are falling apart, but this feels right.
All 4 in eclipse. Well, you're somewhere.
Yeah.
You're
I'm pre-eclipse.
The nether realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just gone.
I'm untime traveling? Who knows? We'll find out.
This is also about social pressure and anxiety. Your sprites have been hiding away in the time that you've been here as to not alert anybody. And you can feel their worry. You can feel the anxiousness coursing through your body from a point of empathy. You're connected to them. These sprites, when you were a kid, were your imaginary friends. These sprites weren't real. This was something that you saw because you were alone and you needed somebody. And you willed these things into existence and your magic made them real, where other people can see them and they help you and they take care of you. And you feel a little bit of a disconnect from it. You feel an overwhelming anxiety as they pop out of your hair and start to circle around you, buzzing about. You feel that they're afraid.
Guys, calm down. Stop it. I know. And I hear them whispering in my ears as they settle on my shoulders, and one of them is repeating Charles. T's saying, some people just can't be helped. And Doe is saying, but we have to unify people. We have to always keep the peace. And I'm like, I know. Stop talking. I'm trying to think. And getting more and more frustrated as I'm trying to train. And I just get so overwhelmed that everything tenses up. And I have this moment of fracture as my harmony shatters. And I'll read the feature.
Yeah.
It says, you are fractured. A sour note has shattered your harmony, and now there is uncertainty and conflict. Your relationship, once a source of strength, is suddenly tenuous. You are divided, and a difference of opinion keeps you separated.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there shaking as I'm trying to comprehend all of these things that I have realized. And as T and Doe are trying to reason with me, I just, stop it, I can't! And my energy, usually powered by love and friendship and all these beautiful things, is suddenly channeled into anger, and my magic is activated as I transform into my magic girl self.
What if your idle discord?
Ooh, I love that so much.
Wow.
Each of you transformed. We're also going to kind of pass through our little bit of a downtime phase, because downtime is a different experience for you right now. So with that in mind, you can have gone through the activities, but these are kind of things that are passively happening around you. People trying to help you while everything's a little bit fuzzy for each of you. You're removed from what's happening around you. Did anybody have some specific downtime activities that they wanted to accomplish?
I was gonna try and investigate.
I was also gonna try to investigate.
Okay, absolutely.
But I was gonna use my book for that, now I can't, so I'm really curious about how.
I'm gonna say,
I'm in a
because
slightly different spot.
you are in a different place, you can investigate the world around you, trying to discover what the issue is there and trying to discover where you've ended up and how you could get back.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out the consequences of my actions.
Yeah. So you're able to, I'll mark some investigation for that, but yours is going to be kind of separate.
Yeah.
You are investigating something else here. You're investigating as well?
I think so. I'm torn now between investigating and making a connection with Lux and Lestray now.
Okay.
Just because I think they saw, like, everyone saw me transform, and I'm just in a place that I feel like I'm just going through motions of, like, helping move crates now. And Lestray just seems like a class president. And I'm just very much, I'm like, please be my mentor.
Yeah.
So I think
Lestray is absolutely giving future you vibes.
Yes, I'm picking up the energy. So I think that there's, like, I want to investigate, but I think that it's probably going to lean towards making a connection there.
Okay. You do that. You do your best. And in doing so, the way that your eclipse affects you, you're incredibly charismatic.
Yeah.
You are your most performative self. You get to spend that time trying to create a potential hope for them in magic. Not just will you accept me when I am my mundane form, but you get to fight for being accepted in this form as well. And neither of them have spent much time with people in a magical form before. So they do spend that time with you, and you do establish a connection there, even while you are eclipsed. Downtime activities?
Yeah, I was going towards recover, but I think that with the ankle, but I think transforming gives that bolstering effect again. So it essentially does recover my ankle.
Yeah, that does, absolutely. So would you instead like to spend some time investigating or creating a link? You can make a connection within to create links, which could help to recover from some of your stress.
Yeah.
There will also be, after the mission, an opportunity to clear stress. That is when you come down from your stress after completing a mission. So though you will be eclipsed in theory for this, there will be the opportunity after.
I think through Charles, because Paulie has seen sort of where they're coming from, and now transformed addresses them and says, "You are right, and I think we can do this."
Charles spends time with you, talking through theories, bouncing questions back and forth, and both of you are a little bit lost in it. Both of you are upset and want to protect people, and that's all he wants to.
Yeah.
And you do find that connection in not having the answers, but being willing, and being willing to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Not defining what is morally right or wrong, and just being willing to survive and help others. Ashley.
Ooh, okay. Ashley is really struggling with the emotions that she is feeling right now. Usually everything's in harmony, as the harmony of this group, and is very focused on what's going on in her own mind. So I think that she's gonna try to use this moment to hear more insight from people and empathize. I think she's gonna try, and I'm gonna ask people what their story is. I wanna hear people's stories and do that as like a, I think, investigation to learn more about the state of things. And yeah, see where that goes.
So that helps to move towards your investigation tracker, which will help you when you are out on a mission. It might give you advantages in some way because you've collected a little bit of intel before heading out. Maura. You spend the time trying to investigate the world that you're in. You understand that you do now. You've put yourself in a place where magic didn't happen to this city. Where when you came through, you from your same upbringing in life lost your magic, just as everyone did. When someone comes through the sky, regardless of where they came from, there is something that strips the magic from them as they fall into this city. People still came with ill intentions. People still created political unrest. There was still greed. As they said before, magic wasn't the problem. Magic was the power behind the problem. People were able to utilize money, class divide, social and political power, and access. At the end of the day, when they took away people's ability to self-educate and self-advocate, they had nothing. And they did the same thing. They created the same exact city and the same exact war through mundane means. And you have been here with the rebellion for some time now, a few days. They know you, but you were just a lost girl that fell out of the sky. You knew that you had magic at some point, but they had never heard of anything like it. I would like for you, and we're going to consider this kind of like working towards a project with your downtime. Sure. I want to give you the opportunity in investigating. Time is moving a little differently for you right now. In your investigation, you are led to the sky. You know the sky is the other side of your pit, and you know that apparently here that is where magic goes to die.
Because I don't see my friends, right?
No, they are not here. I'm
alone.
Came through this alone. And according to the people that you're with, you have always been alone here. What would you like to do? Are you trying to get back? Are you trying to continue here?
I think what I'd actually like to do is like drawn to the things that usually make sense and my old habits, because every time I stray from that like routine and ritual and I don't trust it, I make the wrong choice. So I stop making choices for a second and just I follow my instincts.
Okay.
I would like to, if I can, try and make my way to, if I can get to Zippy's, where Zippy's would be.
Yeah, you absolutely can. You make your way, and the skate park is there. It looks like when you found it, initially, when all of you got to the club and it hadn't been restored. Condemned in broken ramps, buildings kind of falling apart, covered in spray paint.
Are the cats still there?
What do you do to try and find them?
I look for the places that I know that they usually hide, and I make little like noises, and I do all the things, trusting in that like one instinct that I didn't even really know what was driving me this whole time of making sure that whatever else happened, the cats were okay at Zippy's and that they were fed and I took care of them. And going back to that one instinct that I have had since I was really little, and seeing where that can take me, and just trusting something and seeing if I can just build my way back up from the beginning.
Yeah. You make the sound that you make, and you call out to the cats. How many of them are there that you take care of?
It started as 3, but then one cat had kittens.
Oh.
So I think that there's probably like 6 or 7 now. It's like a whole little colony.
You make a call, and the first cat that you ever interacted with does come out, and it is the same cat. You would know her anywhere. A little calico comes out looking nervous at first and then skitters right up to you and rubs its head on your leg before the rest, seeing that the other has proceeded, follow behind it.
You guys remember me? I don't know what that means. How are you here? How is this all here?
The calico cat looks up to you, waiting. You bring them food.
Right. I go into the skate park and look for the secret compartment that Paulie made for me to see if there's any cat food in there.
You pop open the little cabinet, and there is a can. It looks like it's been sitting there for a long time, and there is.
I don't understand what's happening anymore. And I pop the top off and I put it down so that they can eat.
They run to the food, and you sit in this place that is yours and not. It is familiar and different. And you sit with the cats for a while.
Out of habit, like flipping through the book even though there's nothing in there.
And you feel as one of the kittens kind of curls up into your lap with a full belly, a little bit of your own magic in the room. You feel it around you when a figure steps out, holding an empty can from behind the building where you have your little clubhouse normally. And she goes, "Did they sucker you into feeding them too?" "I just fed them."
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, I used up more cat food. Sorry. Do I recognize this person at all?
It's the same person who sat and confronted you. It's you. And she's holding an empty can, and she drops it into the decrepit trash can nearby. And she comes and she kneels down next to you as you sit with the cat in your lap.
You don't look very surprised to see me.
Oh, we always come back here. I did.
Has this happened more than once?
For me. It'll probably happen for you a few more times too. Unless this changes that. I haven't figured it out yet.
I don't know if that's comforting or frightening. I made a mistake.
You did.
I don't think I can fix it. Can you fix it?
I can't fix the mistake, but I can do something. Mistakes follow you, and you have to live with them. But she opens up her own book and stares into it. She disappears for a moment, and you see what it looks like when you do magic for the first time. And when she comes back, she looks behind you, and in the center of the skate park, crackling open, looks like a portal. And you see her holding all of her focus. She goes, "I can't hold this very long run."
Oh gosh, okay. Any advice before I go? Anything? No?
Good luck, and I'm sorry.
And I just run.
That's the thing is
And you
dive through.
Run directly through
Put the kitten down. Run.
Yeah, you take a time cat. Take a time cat.
No. Cat stays here. We'll see you later. See you later.
The cat tries to follow you, but the portal closes behind you.
Out or in or out.
As you all see Maura
Undecided.
You see Maura like trip through one of the walls into the room and fall back into place.
You're here.
Am I transformed or not transformed?
You were transformed when you left, right? And then appeared untransformed.
Yeah.
You come back in transformed. And they are all transformed as well. You definitely see magic around you.
Hi.
Hey, where'd you go?
I don't know. A different time. Maybe I time traveled a little bit and I shouldn't have, and I might have made a small mistake, or a big mistake. I don't know.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
It's okay. Just page us next time.
Oh yeah.
Lux comes back in. All right. Are you guys ready to go?
More than.
Ready.
All right.
Why
So
did everybody Why did you guys transform?
Well, I know it wasn't exactly the plan, but I needed to feel powerful.
Okay.
My regular clothes were just getting really itchy, so I really needed to. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just really emotional right now.
Oh.
Okay.
stop it! You can see them like buzzing around her, like flies at this point, like swarming a little bit. The two of them just.
Well, if they can sense our magical energy, we should probably get away from this hideout.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't be transformed, and we're gonna catch a lot of attention.
So, if I remember correctly, your plan was to go back to the site, the other side of your pit, which is the place that you fell into, the dead grass that you woke up in, and to make a commotion and try to be found.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. We cut to you arriving into the fields. They have set you up with everything that they can from the rebellion to try and support you. They've made sure that there are systems in place to make sure that you do not get attacked by the rebellion while you are in with these people. How do you make a noise? How do you alert them?
Do you have your scepter?
Of course.
Do you have an idea?
Well, last time you lit it up and we came to you.
That's very true. I will try it once again, and I will take my scepter. Actually, I don't think I have the scepter. I think I make it out of thin air once again. I bring it to like full arc, have it in my hands, and then strike up in the air and create a bolt of my gingham magic.
Ooh! Your magic crackles through the sky like a rainbow appearing, but of just your bright, vibrant lavender. It shows a little bit of a pattern appearing throughout it of the gingham, and it lights the sky. How are you all positioning yourselves?
Everyone like punched the ground so it looks like we landed.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it too.
Creating like body shapes.
Yeah. Into the ground.
You two do the same for us.
Yeah.
Got it! Okay!
Good job. Yeah.
I was like straight up about to be like ready to just like jump up and like fall down.
No, equipment manager, do not do that.
Yeah.
Okay, now we lay and like don't look natural, look effortless, but don't look placed.
Oh no.
I jump up and fall down.
All right. I'm gonna have everybody roll something to see how well you sell this. As you hear the like running footsteps coming down the street, down the pavement in the distance. So this could be a conceal, or this could be a flow.
I just got concealed.
I only have conceal.
I'm going full conceal.
I guess I'm doing flow.
Yeah.
Flow is an ability to blend in. So even if you don't have any idea what you're doing, maybe you're just following their leads.
Exactly.
You don't have either conceal
I
or
don't
flow.
have either.
Good luck. Hey.
6.
1.
Okay, I'm gonna say with 2 6s though, you guys are able to like sell it well enough
We, like,
that the
adjust
two
each
of you
other.
look
Okay,
kind of
okay.
awkward, but you're able to help each other.
Move your
You got it,
legs.
you got it.
Stop.
What do you mean?
You're flexing your foot.
Yeah, okay.
Why is your hand in a jazz hand?
Just
Relax.
natural.
There, go. Yeah,
like
that.
less angry. How did your face get so angry? It just relax.
It just is right now.
Yeah.
Shoulders down.
I don't think they go down.
They don't.
The footsteps get closer and you start to hear the crunch of them on the dead grass, tearing through the weeds around you as they arrive standing over you. 3 people. One stands directly looking over you, surrounded by a swarm of spectral hands. Sitting atop their shoulder, they appear over their own hands, a few of them just kind of floating and crawling around on their body. The other 2 people look like they are in some kind of like recognizable magical garb, but what they do is a little less obvious. This person is pretty clear as they wear it on them.
Do the hands look similar to the ones that came up out of the pit and dragged us in?
Identical.
Uh-huh.
Do you do that? No. No. Xander's like, no, you do not.
I kind of want it, but I'm sure if I start.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Oh, look,
Who are
you
you?
found us.
Ow.
They look over you. And they look back to the other 2. They go, I suppose it worked.
Well, we're the Rainbow Rollers.
What worked?
We put out a call. I'm glad that you're here.
Oh, do you need help?
We can help.
We do. We need help.
Oh, perfect. We're good at that.
What do you need?
Well, you all look like you're magical.
Oh, we should introduce ourselves.
Of course.
Idol Guardian.
Idol Melody.
Idol Vision.
Idol alias.
I assume where you came from, you assist your town, your government, protecting the cities.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have lunch with the mayor later.
Perfect. The numbers of magical people are depleting here.
Oh no.
Where are we?
Yeah, where's
Happening to
here?
them?
Sorry, we have a lot of questions.
Oh no, it's okay. We're glad that you're here. We need help creating order.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever we can do.
Roll to deceive me.
Sure.
Sure.
Is that conceal?
Conceal?
Hey, Lexi, which one do I roll?
Yeah, roll your conceal.
Oh no. You're gonna roll these 2.
No, don't give me new ones. You shouldn't.
If
I
you
shouldn't
don't
touch
want to
the ones you're
try,
rolling.
like if you don't want to conceal, if you don't have
roll
conceal,
one.
you can be like, I'm gonna let
can
them
only roll
handle
one.
it.
No, I think we're trying this all together.
All right.
I gotta know.
Would you like to do it as individual roles or a group action?
Group
It
action.
should definitely be a group action.
Group action.
And you get a
Okay.
bonus for that. Oh, if you're leading the group
Wait,
action.
but nobody else can take any additional stress, right?
Right?
Well, I also have something I need to tell you. So, because
Go
I'm
on.
fractured, I'm divided, which means, should I ever be separated, all actions I make are desperate until I am reunited.
Whoa.
So,
Wait, that
I
means you
just-
only succeed on a 6.
yeah, I figured I would let you know.
Okay, good to know if you're separated. Right now, all good.
Yeah.
I'm sure it won't come up.
Good. Yeah, it's great.
Wait, you're separated, like, when you're eclipsed, you're separated because you're split.
Oh, when you are currently
Not separated
I thought you
from
meant
the
separated
group,
from
but
the
like,
group.
like,
No.
fractured.
Yeah, I'm fractured
Right
right
now.
now. So, until I can agree on something with my little friends.
Hey, are you rolling a disadvantage?
I am!
for everything.
Okay,
Just this.
I'm gonna allow y'all to do this as a group action.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm the only one not eclipsed, so should I be the person who has to take the stress if anybody fails?
Oh, God. I guess you have to be.
So let's actually talk about this. In coming back, you did come back uneclipsed because each of your characters do have an ability to get out of eclipse. You don't just have to lower your stress, you have to meet your exit condition, essentially. And your exit condition was what again?
It was, I escape eclipse when my fated person defies my predictions and shows that they can alter the course of fate. And my fated person is me, or was me.
In doing so, in meeting yourself in the questionable timeline, you escaped your eclipse. You are still at just about full
I'm real
stress.
stressed. Yep, so stressed.
And do you want to leave this for a group action, or we can just take the risk and hope that one of you doesn't throw it off. Maybe Ashley will roll 2 6s.
Maybe.
Up to you.
So the group action is either you roll or we all roll individually.
Oh, I shouldn't roll either way.
Well,
have
I will
to
say my ability says when I'm involved in a group action,
Oh,
we
yeah.
count the multiple 6s from different rolls as a critical success. It's just that if I lead, I only take 1 stress.
Gotcha.
So just me being involved in a group action, we do count the multiple 6s.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna say at this point, somebody can handle the stress. You are eclipsed, but I'm gonna allow somebody to just take that additional stress. Just know that it might impact you. I will allow you as role players to just factor in that additional stress so you can still do this as a group action.
Gotcha.
For me. So maybe I shouldn't roll it, huh?
I have 1 in conceal.
I have 2 in conceal.
You should roll it.
As a group action, you lead it, but all 6s count. So you are taking the potential stress of it, and it will impact you emotionally.
Behave. Nope.
That was a 1, so dodge that. Ooh!
6.
oh my god! That was so badass.
Bless. Now that's a regular success because there's only 1 6 in it, but that's okay. A regular success is enough. Enough for you at least to not arise any additional questions, but you are feeling it wearing on you.
Oh my God.
You are fighting to be your authentic self, and you are put in a position immediately where you cannot be, and that is going to be exhausting for you.
Yeah.
But they kind of look back, feeling like they are successfully pulling one over on all of you, and the person in the front offers out their hands to lead you. We'll take you somewhere that's a little safer. All right?
What should we call you?
Crag.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Let's get out of these streets. Anything can happen here.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's roll.
Let's
roll.
Very cute. And they turn back to the others and lead you in that direction. Their hands just kind of pointing and guiding the way behind them. And they move as a unit, the 3 of them. They stay together, the other 2 very, very quiet, letting clearly Crag take the lead here as they kind of look back and forth to each other. And they lead you to one of the places that's been identified to you as a stronghold. It's not the grocery store. It is one that they said was more where the magical people are living, where the high up in the government and where that entire political structure has sectioned off a portion of a neighborhood as their own, a place that is their now community. And they lead you in. And the streets are much more alive suddenly. It's as soon as you enter the threshold, they let you through a checkpoint, essentially. And once you are inside, it looks like it is a populated city. People that look magical and mundane are kind of meddling about through it. People bringing in groceries, living lives here. Now, do you have any kind of particular information you are looking for?
We are trying to get information, specifically when patrols and stuff are, but if there's anything that can, that seems like it would be a secret in some way. We're just scouting for
Valuable intel.
Exactly.
We're looking for what their big priorities are, and I think we just found out a big one,
Yes.
or we just found out
Magical.
because a big thing that I was looking for was how they were getting more magical people, and I think we I wanted to figure out what the hands were. Figured out what the hands were. So it's figuring out where their sources of powers are and what their next move is and what their weak point is.
I also am looking for anywhere where they might be keeping if the buildings have been destroyed, obviously they have magic so they can do it themselves, but if there's barrels of dynamite, that kind of fun stuff that they're just we keep all of the fireworks in this section.
Okay, great. So you enter in, you do see somebody standing on a street corner giving a speech, speaking out. It sounds like it's coming through a megaphone, but
there isn't one physically. It is clearly some magical ability to elevate their voice out to all of you, where it sounds like it's coming directly to you as they speak out. They talk about utopia. They talk about peace. They talk about protecting the world. You hear them and their idea of what it is that's happening here. They talk about building a society that functions better, where buildings and things like this don't collapse, where if they brought in more magical people, they could create a world where standard labor doesn't have to exist, and where peace is created by convenience, essentially. They're preaching it in a way that they believe it.
I was gonna ask, yeah.
Yeah, they are talking about this like they are heroes. They say it is a time for heroes, a place for heroes. They say that they will make this a place. They point out, looking around, like, look at this, the ruins. It shouldn't be like this. We just need more people to come and help us. So in that, you pass by. It's not your stopping point. They continue to lead you through it. I want anybody who's looking for things to roll to either perceive or analyze what you're looking for.
I'll do perceive.
Okay.
Do we analyze?
Okay.
I just need
6.
6.
Okay, how about you?
4.
4. 1.
Oh, I didn't roll.
Would you like to?
You know, I think Melody is just like listening to that. Her teeth are gritting. And
Yeah.
I don't think she's perceiving anything else.
You got it.
Or I don't
Okay, what are you
mind.
looking for?
Let's see. We are looking for any other entrances possible into this place that you'd be able to see from the inside.
Excellent. I love that. Yeah. Something that you notice, there are a few entry points that are guarded like checkpoints, definitely, because it is like an open area of a city. So they've had to do their best to like create these walls around it, but there are 3 entry points guarded. One that you came in and 2 others. But something else that you recognize is actually something that is familiar to you from home. This city is laid out very similar to Alstra City. And there is an entry point to like a sewer grate.
And if anything we know, it's pipes. That's how we are connected to the city.
That's true.
So you actually recognize that there is a grate that connects directly to Zippy's.
And in this place, Zippy's is just another sort of magical source, but not a base of it.
Correct. Yeah, that is just a place where strange happenings have been occurring. They notice things falling from the sky a little more often over there. Of course, in your world, it is a magical skate rink where you invite other magical people. So there's just a source of a lot of energy coming through from your side. Okay, and then we had a 4.
Yes.
And you were looking for weaponry.
Weaponry, yes. Anything that might combust, anything that might cause huge destruction on the way out or even the way in.
Okay. You have a mixed success. So what I'm going to say is you do see actually a couple of people kind of like digging and sorting in some things off of trucks, sorting them into boxes. But it is not in a place where you can get to it right now. But you know that it's there.
Okay, great.
A 1.
Big surprise.
What were we looking for?
Weak points. Weaknesses.
Strongest place you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Sad.
Honestly, impenetrable to you.
Yeah, these people, no weaknesses. Nothing wrong with them. I can see why it was so hard for them. They didn't even need magic. But they have it. We're in big trouble. We should probably all give up. Oops.
Your sprites continue to bicker around you, distracting you. They're mixed in with the sounds of the shouting, and the shouting feels like it is right in your ear, and it is like a third voice right in your ears. It is so overwhelming that you weren't able to really spot anything on the way in as you are all led to this large, what is definitely a like combination of a few houses. It feels like they have been like building out boards to connect them to each other. That was once like a very reasonable residential district. But they've boarded up parts of it to increase the stronghold of it. It looks incredibly reinforced. And they go, so, what are each of your abilities?
I shield things.
I amplify.
I'm a time traveler.
I lead.
Your ability is to lead?
I lead, and I use the moon to make magic.
Interesting. These are my hands. And they there's 5 of them that kind of pop up around them.
How far can you extend them?
There isn't a defined feet or miles or something like that, but it takes a lot out of me to send them pretty far. It feels like leaving a part of yourself behind if they get a little too far. They can get some good reach. So I look forward to seeing what you all can do. I'm sure you're probably concerned about being here. I know you all have probably a home that you came from that you might be interested in getting back to, and I can assure you we can absolutely get you back there if you are just willing to help us out.
Of course.
At this point, we're just putting out calls for heroes.
What if we know more heroes? What if we know people from our world that would be very helpful here? Would you be able to
call them? Can we? Yeah, we just need to send a couple of pages, and we might be able to get more help if you want.
Or you can.
Yeah.
I think you could.
You think you know some other heroes that might be interested? I mean,
I guess it just
Where we're
depends.
from, yeah.
Well, I guess we're offering more people to help, but maybe you just need us. What kind of help? What help do you need? What's going on? What is there a monster or what?
There have been plenty of monsters that have come through the skies here. I'm sure you have some source of magic that you experience this with as well. Ours come from the skies here, but the city has fallen to unrest, and we need enough people to rebuild morale within as well. We need people to see heroes. We need to see people to see what we can provide for them. We want to show what people like you and me are capable of, and how it could make everyone's lives better.
Okay, that sounds great. I guess.
Do you have an idea on how we can do that?
Absolutely. Here. And leads up to the door, and one of his hands comes down and shakes with one of the guards on the way in. It's not even a secret handshake. It is just clearly they know him. As the door opens and you proceed into the foyer of a pristine house. You haven't seen anything like this since you've arrived. It is structurally perfect. Beautiful marble floors in front of you with pillars on either side of it. Classical artwork on the walls. Looks like originals. Hand-painted art fill the walls as they enter into a formal living room where a few people are sitting around a large map. It looks different than the one that you've been seeing in the rebellion, but it is of the same city. They look over it and they look out to you, joining with everyone and saying, hey, some of our new friends have arrived that we've put out the call for, interested in helping. And they all nod to each other for a second and they go, right, okay. You'll just need to be tested first.
What's that?
We're good at tests.
I am very bad at pop
We're in
quizzes,
school.
actually.
To make sure you're capable, to make sure you're strong enough, and to
For
make
what?
sure that you wouldn't be against our best interest.
What do you mean?
As everybody in the room stands up and moves towards you at the same time. And that is where we are going to end for today. That is all that we have time for, but we have one more episode to solve everyone's problems. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Each of you, of course, still in Eclipse. When we come back on the next episode, we'll figure out what those kind of conditions are. If we can finish a mission, we'll see. Let's go around one more time and let's meet everybody.
My name is Lexi. I've been your idol alias / Zariah. Oh my gosh.
And I'm Kailey Bray, and I have been your idle vision time traveler.
I am Dani Gage, and I have been Ashley/Melody. Or Discord.
Or Discord. And I'm Xander Jeanneret playing Idle Guard or Pauldron, and very nervous about what's about to happen.
I'm Saige Ryan, and I don't have a lot of voices for NPCs when we're not in a particularly strange world. Why would they all have different accents here? They can't.
They can.
But that's besides the point. Thank you so much for watching the show. Very excited for our one more episode. Thank you again to Evil Hat for sponsoring the series and making it possible. Do all the things. Join the Discord. Hang out. Check out Girl by Moonlight on BackerKit, which is funding right now. Links will be both in our live chat if you're watching live or in the description on YouTube. And we will see you next time.
Ah!